Hi there, it's the 1st of August and I thought today would be an excellent opportunity to give you a summary of the last week of testing of the Jacob's Ladder automation. If you haven't seen the spreadsheet already, I'll leave a link to it in the description below, and indeed I'll make the spreadsheet available throughout August. I'm going to carry on with the testing, given that in the last week of July, over 30 matches, I'm looking at a profit of 175 with a return on investment of 13%. So I'm delighted with that. That's better than you'll get from Coutts Bank. These matches here, they've all been selected for a variety of different reasons in the hope of being able to test the functionality of the automation. So there's no hard and fast rules in terms of these. These matches have been selected based on their liquidity, both plenty of money and very thin. They've been tested based on a match odds home favourite, away favourite, the over-unders 2.5 being the overs being favourite, and vice versa. So a whole range of different scenarios hopefully put the automation through its paces. And even now, after a week, I'm still making refinements. But generally speaking, what you'll see is that we have a total so far of 175 over this 30 match range, and we end up with an average profit of 5.84. and for an average stake of 43. So I'm not using the full £100 stake. Keep in mind what Jacob's Ladder does. From a manual perspective, all you're doing is you're looking at the first period of the match, whether that's 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'm configured to look at the first 20 minutes. You're looking to see if a goal happens. So the number of goals in that monitoring period, when that monitoring period ends, you then jump on the overs market one goal above that. And you back the overs, wait for a goal, and when a goal scores, comes along, you trade out. And that's it. But the automation goes a little bit further than that. When the bets are placed just after the monitoring period, it actually feeds bets in to the market. And the idea behind that is it keeps getting further value as the odds of the overs naturally increase without a goal coming. And that drip feeding goes all the way up to your maximum stake that you want. In my case, I'm using 100 as the maximum. Once a goal is scored, a drip fed mechanism is used for the lays as well, and the idea behind that is that you'll reduce your liability as the match progresses, ultimately greening up. But ideally what you want to happen is a quick second goal, and if that happens, that market is then closed and you will win whatever happens to be sitting on the overs. That's the idea behind it. So yes, as I say, I'm very happy with the way this has gone. I'm still tweaking things because as I've been going through these matches, it's been flagging up a number of things. For example, this one here, this was the first one where I got involved in the overs 3.5 market and I had to manually trade out. Now I assumed it was because the strategy was assigned to the over 2.5, over under 2.5 market. And of course, the goal came along, which closed that market. And I assumed that because that market was closed, that the strategy coding, if you like, wouldn't be accessible. So it wasn't working on the over 3.5 market that I was involved in. It happened again in this match here. I had to manually trade out, and then I identified what it was. I'd actually misconfigured one of my conditions, and I had it set to equal. I had it set to greater than rather than equals. So that's now been sorted. So as I say, over this week, it's been an ongoing tweaking process. Speaking of conditions, I've actually started setting up a couple of matches here. So the Portugal-USA women's game, which is due to start off in 15 minutes or so, and the Vietnam-Netherlands game. I wouldn't necessarily get involved in that, to be perfectly honest, because the Netherlands are ridiculously short price favourites, as you would probably understand. The reason I'm going for that is to try and capture getting involved in the over 3.5 market again, just to make sure that my conditions are set. Speaking of conditions, what I'd like to address is some questions or comments made in a previous video regarding conditions. In that video, the conditions weren't clearly visible. That was deliberate. A strategy like this, from its inception to setting up the automation to then testing it, tweaking it, testing it again, and carrying on that refining process, as I've already explained, I've been at it a week. So it takes a long time. So I didn't show them deliberately because, well, two things really. One, it's a little bit unreasonable for me to put all this work in without you making any effort. That said, there's a gift at the end of this video, so stick around. But the main reason is that it goes against what I'm trying to do with this channel. I've stated numerous times, and in all the various disclaimers and so on, that what I'm trying to do is encourage you to develop your own strategies and do your own experimentation, whether that's manual or automated, irrespective of the software application you happen to be using. You know, any cookie idea that you have, go in, test it, play around with it. You know, if you look at any of the videos in this channel, you know, there's all sorts of loopy ideas I've come up with. Some of them are dismissed very quickly, others have a little bit of longevity to them. The point being is, if you just follow the crowd all the time, you're not going to profit. Try things differently. In addition to that, with regard to the conditions and specifically this automation, you already have the building blocks to develop your own version of Jacob's Ladder. Throughout this channel, you will find videos showing you how to drip back bets into the market. Similarly, there's videos showing you how to drip feed lay bets into the market, specifically aimed at reducing your liabilities after a goal has been scored. There's a video showing you how to avoid those drip-fed bets being submitted to the market during the half-time interval. There's videos showing you how to use the over-under markets to reliably detect if a goal has been scored or not. There's a number of videos showing you how to use either a control bet or a dummy rule, which sets up a mechanism that you can then check to see if a condition has happened in the past, even if it's no longer true now. And there's no end of videos littered about all over the channel that show you how to do an automated green up. All of these techniques are used throughout Jacob's Ladder. So you already have the information that you need to build it yourself. That said, by the end of August, I am prepared to actually leave, or make available, I should say, this strategy file for download. But you have to do something for me in return. This video that you're watching now, by the end of August, I want at least 150 likes. So start smashing that button. And also, I want 50 unique comments, so you can't go in and do multiple comments. But I want 50 comments where you go in and say who you think will win the EPL this coming season. If by the end of the month I've hit those targets, I will make the strategy file available for download for a couple of weeks. In the meantime, of course, as I say, you've got all the tools you need to develop it yourself. As I say, the link to the spreadsheet I'll put down below, and that spreadsheet file will be made available throughout August. As I say, I'm going to carry on with my testing. I'm delighted with the way this has come out so far in the first week without any real effort in terms of match selection. So if that continues, I'd be more than happy with that. And I think it can be reasonably scalable as well. Even though some of these matches were fairly thin on the ground, keeping in mind that I'm drip feeding bets, so I'm not chucking in hundreds of pounds at one price that might scare a thin market. I'm drip feeding £5 bets in every 2 or 3 minutes. And from that point of view, it's working really well. So anyway, as I say, I'll leave the spreadsheet available to you throughout August, and you can check my progress anytime you like. In the meantime, if you can't wait till the end of August and see if I hit those targets I've asked for, give it a bash yourself. Okay guys, thanks very much. I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.